Let's do an unboxing of the AceBeam K1. And after we do that, I will take a look at the light off camera and come back and tell you what I think of it. So here's the AceBeam K1. It's a triple option light. You've got your normal white LEDs, you've got UVs, and it's got a laser. It's 14500 size with onboard USB-C charging. And other than that, it doesn't tell you a whole lot on the outside of the box. Okay, so let's see all what you get. You've got the registration card. I don't know that anybody really fills these in anymore. You've got a product certification. You've got a user manual, which I will look at off camera. Inside this box, you've got some charging cables, I think, and probably extra O-rings. Lanyard, extra O-ring, one of them. USB A to C charging cable, and here's the light itself. Let's take the head off and just take the battery protector out of it. Take a look. 1000 milliamp hour battery from AceBeam here, 14500 size with onboard charging, which is kind of nice. Take a look down in there while we got it. We've got a tail cap, it looks like. Put this back together. Simple head here, no spring on the front. Let's just turn it on here and see how it works. So there is your white LED. We turn it on, there is your laser pointer, and then your UV. See if anything shows up on my knife. UV, no. So really easy to operate. I assume on the white side you've got a couple modes. Yeah, you do. Looks like 3 modes: low, medium, and high on your mechanical button there. It does have a pocket clip. Looks reasonably deep. Reasonably decent there. Let's compare it to a couple of other lights. I've got an Olight arc field, which is probably the closest competitor here. Size-wise, they're very close in length. I'd say pretty much even. Similar in width. Obviously, different form factor light. The arc field is one of the flat lights. Different style recharging and non-user replaceable battery on the Olight. But really a decent comparison here between the two. And then a Raylight LAN in titanium. This is going to be the same as the Pineapple, same size at least. And this is a 14500 light. It's one of my favorite EDC lights to carry around. Just a size comparison. So this is a little bit bigger, but not hugely large. Looks like you do have a crenulated bezel up front there. You can see the 3 different emitter types pretty clearly there. You've got your main LED, your UV, and then your laser. Let me go read the manual, use this, and we'll probably see some night shots as well to take a look at the AceBeam K1. I'm taking a look at the AceBeam K1 flashlight right now. This is on high mode. This is running a Cree XP LR LED, 6500 Kelvin, about 1000 lumens. And you can see it's a fairly nice throwy beam. It's definitely got spill to it, but pretty useful for EDC tasks. Flip over to the green laser. Don't know how well it's showing up on camera, but it's pretty strong. I can go to the end of this playground here, no problem. It's pretty faint, but I can see the beam as well in the air. Again, kind of faint, but not bad for a consumer 3-watt laser. Definitely goes a couple hundred feet. And then you've got UV, which is hard to see here at night. Kind of better at dusk, but you can see here on this trash that it does fluoresce. I've got it here compared to an Olight arc field. You can see it's a much floodier beam. There's no real hot spot to it. Not necessarily bad, just different. And here is the AceBeam for reference. Quite a bit better flood, and I think this is stepped down by now. Both are 1000 lumens, give or take. Both have the green lasers as well. On the left here is the Olight, and on the right is the AceBeam, and the AceBeam's considerably brighter. At a distance, it's even more noticeable. The Olight's barely making it there in a distance, and the Olight is still pretty bright. So quite a bit of difference. Maybe you can see up closer here. Left is Olight, green, right is AceBeam K1. So quite a bit brighter on the green laser. So the UI here is simple, but I wanted to explain it in a little bit more detail. On the end, you've got your on-off switch, really basic. It does lock and press down, and it is a mechanical switch. You can end up half pressing, but I find it's a little hard to do when it's on, so it's easier if it's off for some reason. So you can half press here and go through the 3 modes. You got a low, medium, and a high. Full 1000 lumens there. Lock it on. Then you have the laser mode, very easy to switch there with the rotary at the front. And then you have UV as well. Now this UV does get surprisingly warm. Like, I can start to feel the warmth here. If you cover your hand there, you know pretty quick that it's on. It gets hot, much more noticeable than the white LED there. So keep careful with it. I had no such problem with the laser side of that. But that's really it. The laser and UV modes are 1 mode each. No big deal there. My conclusion on the AceBeam K1 is that this is a solid little light. I like that it's 3 mode instead of like 2 on the Olight arc field here that I really compared the light to. It's comparable in carry, in size here. The arc field probably wins for me on carry just because it's a little bit slimmer in the pocket. The head of the AceBeam is noticeable in your pocket, but it's not bad. I find up towards the top of the pocket is what really matters. So this being thinner and being milled out really is pretty good here. Runtimes were expected, no big issues or surprises there. I like they offer this in colors. I like the green. The crenulated bezel is kind of nice here. Really no complaints with the K1, other than maybe it's a cool white LED, which isn't my preference, but obviously isn't a big deal for everyone. The D10s could be slightly more positive. They're pretty good, but it could be just a little better, in my opinion. I do like the switch over here with the toggle. Being only 2, it's just really easy to know. Left is laser, green, right is flashlight. Here, you don't exactly know where you are just without looking at it, but you start all the way over on the left. You know you've got the light, laser, then UV. I think UV is a little bit it's nice to have, but for most people, I don't think they'll probably use it. You know, makes me wonder if their optics could have been a little different, a little better here. The arc field, the K1 has a nice round beam, whereas the arc field has more of a, I'd call it oval or rectangular beam. With that optic on there, it does make compromises for the shape of the light. The K1 doesn't have that problem at all. The clip is decent. No big issues there. Let me know what you think of the AceBeam K1. This light's been out for a little bit, so some of you guys probably have one. And let me know what you think of the K1 if you've got one. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next review.